Emmett is at the All In Summit this week, so we are joined by special guest host Farzad Misbahi. The big news kind of last week in terms of macroeconomic news was the inflation print, which, came in a little bit high, but mostly in line with the expectations. The market can't seem to figure out what the heck to do with any of this macroeconomic information.
It goes back to the whole uncertainty principle of markets don't like uncertainty. And I think there's still a lot of that in the market. Uncertainty in the markets usually lends off to the sell-off. I'm a long-term investor. So when I think about putting money anywhere, my time horizon is 5 years plus. It's hard to be patient. Most people, including myself, I want everything now. I wonder what the dynamic in the stock market's going to be if there is an event where the second quarter print comes out and it confirms a recession. I wonder if that is like the bottom. And then from that point forward, we can move ahead, because now people are like, okay, cool. We got confirmation that there is a recession. We sold off the stocks in preparation for this recession. Now that we have confirmation for it, we can start looking forward. It's almost like if we get a print that says, no, the economy's fine, there's no recession, I wonder if that's worse for the stock market.
Let's move on to maybe greener pastures, probably more interesting things. We mentioned Emmett was at the All In Summit, and yesterday Elon had I think it was a pretty fascinating interview there.
My favorite part of that interview was how comfortable Elon was and how much he seemed like a regular person on it that was talking about really interesting stuff.
I was astonished at how loose he was. Twitter's essentially accusing him of breaking the non-disclosure agreement, and there he is, like, ripping on Parag and talking about how they've got this huge bot issue. Twitter could actually self-destruct if this problem is as serious as he's claiming it is. And that could be a huge issue for their financial health, on top of, the bot problem just being a user base issue. I could see Twitter being sued like crazy. I could see Elon also being sued by Twitter. He really means it when he says that he values the reality of doing good more than the perception of doing good. One of the other comments that Elon made at this All In Summit was, the 1 million FSD users by the end of this year. I mean, that was kind of a rough approximation, so we don't necessarily need to hold them to it, but right. I think that was a larger number than most people were expecting.
I think FSD will reach level 4 by the end of this year.
In my mind, they really need to get single stack figured out, and sounds like they're well on their way.
And if you think about where it was versus last year, it's so much better.
Emmett and I play in the shorter term a little bit more, just with our use of options. Now, our shorter term is, we have leaps that go out to 2024. If the numbers really do come in kind of where we're expecting, then you could have significant multiple compression, which we're already seeing. If Tesla's trading at a PE of, say, like 40 or 50 in the future, just with flat stock price and, rapidly increasing earnings, well, the flight to safety is going to be a rapidly growing tech company, growing earnings 50% to 100% in year over year, with the best technology in the world has a total addressable market drastically bigger than, even just the automotive market, and which is priced like a value stock. It's a great setup if we're right about this.
In an industry that's typically heavily impacted by recessions, and this company has literally unlimited demand. They think they can potentially match Q1 deliveries in Q2, either through some sort of higher mix out of the US, or Shanghai is going to come back much stronger than people are thinking. I'm curious how much of that is already priced into the stock right now.
Peter Beck reminds me a lot of Elon. They're really rushing towards the future, both on a technological standpoint and in terms of building out new features, but they're doing it on a shoestring budget.
I think that's why Elon should definitely buy Twitter, because you can very easily see how stuff like this could drive a tremendous amount of division, misinformation, misleading. So, you layer it. Elon is by far at the forefront of ensuring that sort of AI safety exists. So to me, it means that Elon has to buy Twitter under that scenario.